Hey everybody, this is Candace Yvette with Black Women Aware. First, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who comes by and supports my page. It really does mean a lot to me. If you all could please press the like or dislike button and subscribe, comment, or even email me if you have any suggestions, questions, or concerns. My email is always going to be in the description box. Again, thank you for visiting my channel. Every 5.5 hours in the United States of America, a black woman or child is murdered. Stop killing black women. Stop killing black children. Hey guys, it's Candace Yvette with Black Women Aware. So I had to jump in real quick and give this message. First, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for visiting my page. Thank you for showing support and being concerned about the injustices that black women and children face every day in the United States. I really do appreciate your support. You don't know how much that means to me, especially because I myself am a black woman. I'd also like to put this quick disclaimer out there. Do not come to my page victim shaming or blaming. You will be immediately blocked for that. I do not tolerate it. There is no need for it. And I'm pretty sure you knew what you were saying in the comment before you posted it. So be respectful. Many of the victims, their families come back and they visit this page. I am their advocate. This is their safe space. No disrespect will be tolerated. You all have a good day. I'm going to let you go back into the commentary. So, I just wanted to get on here real quick and share this with y'all and give my commentary throughout. I'm surprised I came across this article concerning the alleged murderer of the 5-year-old Kamarie Holland down there in Alabama. So it appears that police have reopened a 2005 case that happened in Alaska. It was a case that was out of Alaska and concerned a month-old baby. Williams was connected in this case. He was accused of slaying a month-old baby. And guess what? That month-old baby was his own daughter. Police did not have enough evidence to charge him, so the charges at the time had to be dropped. Okay, so I'm going to read this article, give my commentary. If I seem a little shaken up, I am because I told y'all these people were demonic, right? I told y'all. So, Alaska police have reopened the investigation of a 2005 child murder linked to a man arrested last month in connection with the abduction, sexual assault, and asphyxiation of a Georgia girl in Alabama. When deputies arrested Jeremy Tremaine Williams, 37, last month in connection with the murder of 5-year-old Kamarie Holland, Sheriff Heath Taylor mentioned that he had once been suspected in connection with the killing of a baby in Alaska, but hadn't been charged due to lack of evidence. Investigators there are taking another look. Officials in North Pole, Alaska confirmed, although no one is authorized to speak to the media was still available if anybody wanted to speak with them, but nobody did because, y'all know, the judge recently put a gag order, so they really can't talk to them about anything. The Georgia-based WRBL-TV reported that the investigation stems from an unsolved murder slaying of Williams' daughter, Nadia Trinice Williams, who was just a month old. A newborn, y'all, at the time. Russell County, Alabama deputies arrested Williams in December on capital murder charge in connection with Kamarie's killing. The girl's mother, 35-year-old Christy Sipple, who also goes by Christy Hoskins, initially told police she woke up. Now this article is saying something different, saying that she told police initially that she woke up at 10 till 6 on December 13th and discovered her front door was open and her daughter was gone. This girl, I'm getting pissed just reading this, y'all. I'm getting irritable. I'm trying to stay focused. But police arrested Sipple, who also goes by Hoskins, 2 weeks later and charged her with felony murder and child trafficking. She allegedly sold her daughter for sex to the suspected killer and predator. Wow. So this baby passed away in 2005. 2021 is when little Kamarie was murdered. So if he didn't give a fuck about a month-old child, Kamarie really had no hope, y'all. And I can't even allow my mind to wonder what this child went through, because I went over the first video that I did concerning Kamarie, and as I listened to it, different things came out at me. So it's just like rereading or re-listening to these articles. For me, it's like when I read my Bible. You know, you can, I don't know about, you know, I ain't judging nobody. If you don't believe what I believe, you ain't got to. I don't care. That's not the point of this. What I'm trying to say for those who do believe and who do read, you know, the Bible, you know, and you understand, especially if you're a spiritual led Christian. You're not, you know, you're spiritually led, right? You know, and you understand when you read certain verses in the Bible, different meanings, and you get different perspectives from just one verse. Right? So as I was even re-listening to that video, right, and I was reading the charges, I got to the point where I was reading the charges. I was reading Jeremy's charges, and I got a new understanding, because it said rape while murder, which means he was killing that girl as he was tormenting that girl. And when I got to that part, y'all, in my own video, I had to cut it off. I had to cut it off because it broke my heart. And this is something that is being done to innocent children. So if God already don't like the spilling of innocent blood, imagine what kind of, and I hope like high heaven to high hell, you know, somebody catch their asses up while they in prison. I'm sorry, Lord, forgive me for cussing and all that. But y'all know on my channel, when I get upset about something, when I'm full of passion, I will cuss. You know, not one of these type of peoples who believe in God and lie to you about what I do. I couldn't do that. Let me continue on, though. I'm going to try to get through this, because these kind of stories, they do make me very uncomfortable, but I have to cover them, especially when it's concerning my community, because as we know, or as I know, because I've been researching this stuff for a good year now, a year and a half rather, as I have learned that our cases are not being put on CNN and Fox News and all these big news channels like that. You know what I mean? I don't mind you all lives matter people coming over here, but don't get in my comment section talking about, well, all women and all children's lives matter. Okay, because if that was the case, all the stuff that I uncover as I'm building this channel and bringing awareness to my own community, it should have made CNN. It should have made Fox News. I've even found studies that have been done saying that, hey, the majority of people in the USA do not cover murders or missing cases of people of color, because they usually assume, especially when it's a black woman, they usually assume the person was like a drug addict or something, and their death was a cause of how they lived their life. They don't see them as innocent as they seen Gabby Petito, or whatever her last name is. I don't know how to pronounce her last name like that, because I did not follow that case. Why didn't I follow the case or share anything? Because I understand that if it had been a black woman, and it was a black woman that died and went missing around the same time from the same neighborhood as Gabby, she was found dead in a trunk, shot with a bullet in her head. I believe her first name is Destiny, out of New York, right? And nobody heard of her. The only reason why I found out about her is because I was in the comment section of another pro-black business. I was in their comment section. That's how I found out about it. So please do not come over to Black Women Aware, a small channel. I can see if I had a bigger channel, but I am a small channel trying to bring awareness about what's going on in my own backyard. And then you have a problem with it when you have big old CNN and Fox News and all of that. We don't have all of that. People love commenting on how black people kill each other in the streets, but when we finally do something positive and want to stand up for ourselves, people have an issue with that. If you don't like this channel, cut the video off, keep it, push it. I'm not going to be mad at you, but do not, and I get tired of saying this, not only to people of no color, but to black men as well. If you're not coming over here to be respectful, then don't comment. Get on. What do you get off of talking bad about victims who have already lost their lives, women and children? Are you that fucked up in the mind that you have to come over to my channel with that bullshit and talk about people who have already died, and some who have died in the most just horrendous ways possible? Oh, Kamarie's life don't just matter. All kids know. This video and the other video I did about Kamarie was about Kamarie. It wasn't about anybody else's children or nothing like that. It was dedicated to Kamarie. Why do y'all think after these videos, after I share them, I do like a dedication to them at the end of the videos? That is, to let their family know that I dedicated this video to them. You don't get to come over here and disrespect people and force your views. If I can't force my Christian views on you, if I can't force my views on you, don't come over on my channel and try to force me to believe what you believe, how I should run my channel. Because it's not going to happen. And I have too much evidence, not only in my own life, but collective evidence that black women and girls and children, period, and people of color communities do not matter the majority of time. And as long as that's the case, Black Women Aware will be here. I don't give a damn if I got to go out of YouTube and make my own site. Black Women Aware will be here. For those of y'all who support the channel, I'm sorry I got off track. I had to make that statement. Let's get back to this article. A judge in Alabama has issued a gag order on the case, blocking prosecutors and investigators from sharing additional details. And the details, they won't share them because they're too gruesome. That's what it say right here. Expected to be too gruesome with the media. Sheriff Taylor had previously said that Sipple, who also goes by Hoskins, and Williams had known each other before the slaying, and that investigators found evidence of child sex abuse at the scene. So he probably had child pornography and other little shit over there. I don't even want to think about what else was probably found in that abandoned house. Alabama court records also show Sipple had a pair of pending child abuse cases. So the mother has some pending child abuse cases. She was accused of smoking marijuana, or the state calls it chemical endangerment to a minor. She was smoking marijuana while she was pregnant with another child in 2018. And that's a felony in Alabama. 2019, she was charged again. So basically with the same thing, smoking while she was pregnant. Williams had been acquitted of child abuse charges in the Cotton State in 2012. The outcome of another child abuse case in Georgia was not immediately clear. State records show that a man with the same name has charges pending for alleged battery and child cruelty in connection with an incident in August of 2021. So they basically trying to say they're trying to make sure, because he shares the same name as somebody else, that they don't get their charges mixed up or whatever, and they not, So they're saying that this stuff that went down in 2005 in Alaska, this fool did basically. But in ending this this video, I just want to say. I told y'all I seen something demonic when I was reading that article to y'all in the last video. Some of these videos I do, and that Kamarie Holland, that first video I did not prep for it or anything. I just was reading. Just was reading, and then I happened to see what I seen. Like, she said that she allegedly woke the little girl up at 3 a.m. Didn't say why. And then I just looked at her. I said, damn, this lady looked demonic. You know, just looking at her eyes, it looked like somebody else is in that body. I can't describe it to y'all. That's the only thing that's so frustrating with being so spiritual, because people who don't have a spiritual eye be thinking that, oh, okay, this motherfucker just crazy because they off them drugs or they got this and that going on. I be sitting up there looking at it, and see, demons know the difference between somebody who has that spiritual eye and can see them and know what they are, and somebody who's just in the world. They know. And it's even evidence in the Bible that they know. Like it's a story in the book of Acts where somebody was trying to cast out a demon, and the demon said this to the person. He said, I know who Peter is, I know who Paul is, but who are you? Because they only recognize, like, if you have the Holy Spirit really living in you, they recognize that. But if you don't, they don't recognize you, and you on their turf, and they can do anything they want to you. But when I looked at that woman's eyes, y'all, it wasn't just darkness. It was demonic. And to hear that she has all these extra charges coming out of child abuse. And then personally, y'all, another thing that came out to me when I was uploading that first video was because the father, I believe I read where the father didn't only have custody of Kamarie, but he was possibly going back for custody of another child. You know, allegedly, I'm saying allegedly, but I believe they had more than one child together. And my little theory is that because no mother who really loves their child could do what Christy did to Kamarie, right? So my theory is she never even loved them kids in the first place, one. Two, she probably allowed what happened to Kamarie, you know, she probably allowed that to happen to that little girl to get back at her father. If you really think about it, they probably went through a nasty custody case, you know, and I'm just going to be honest. A lot of women don't want to hear this, but it is true. Some of these men will fight you for custody, especially if you're in a state where they're mostly for the mothers. Some of these men are fighting to get custody of their children. And some of them the states will give them a hell of a hard time. So for a man to win custody of a child, that is huge. That is huge, because most of the times the state is not finna hear it. They're for the mother. So for him to win custody of that child, y'all, that ain't only big, but if she can't get money on her own, and if she's not working or anything like that, that baby was probably her meal ticket. So that little girl, she probably didn't see that little girl as her daughter anymore. She probably didn't have an emotional connection with that child anymore. And she probably allowed what happened to that child to get back at that child's father, because that child meant something to the father. That child probably, I'm not even going to say probably, because to allow this to happen to your child, she didn't give a fuck about that little girl. Okay? She didn't care. And to get back at the daddy, because, you know, they do that nowadays. In this evil, vile world, they do that shit nowadays. They will kill your children. They won't kill you. I even read up on a case in my part of the USA, the Midwest. Now, I'm not from Detroit, but I'm from the Midwest. I read up on a case that happened. I believe it was Detroit or Chicago. It was one of them. This happened like maybe 4 or 5 years before I even made BWA, where dude walked up with a gun on another man's porch. They was in some like drug gang bullshit. Walked up on him with the gun. The little girl was on the porch, shot the baby in the head because he was trying to harm the father, trying to hurt the father. They do that evil stuff nowadays, y'all. And I was so mad that I had thought of that, and the video was already up, because I was thinking, because the father got in the article and he said, wouldn't a real mother do that to their children? Real mothers wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? And then when the commenter got in, the viewer got in my my comment section on that last video, and they were saying, I, have been addicted to drugs, and I ain't never in a minute in my life thought about harming my children and doing something to them to get my high. I've never thought. And then, y'all, I had to think about my own family, and not to put my aunt out there like that, but I have an aunt on my mother's side, right, who was highly addicted to crack cocaine back in the day. She would steal shit from my grandmother, but she wasn't the type who was, that they like to portray in the mainstream media. She wasn't out here itching and scratching and living in a box and shit like they like to put in the media. She wasn't like that. She's what they called a functional addict. She kept a job, right? So she did all that shit, but she ended up, y'all, having 5 babies. All of her babies, she knew she would not be a proper mother figure to them, so she gave them up for adoption. Gave all of them up for adoption. And they're grown now. Everybody's grown, damn near 40 now. All of them except one has come back to my aunt, and they were mad and they were angry. But I had to challenge their anger. I had to. Like, I understood, okay, y'all mad at her because she gave y'all up. But what the fuck would you rather have? This woman non-functional, she getting high, and you seeing her getting high. Be blessed. She didn't abort you, one. You're here, you're alive. She didn't kill you. She didn't put a pillow over your head. That's 2. 3, you never seen her get high. And most of y'all came out not decent people, but most of those children of my aunts, my cousins, most of them are college grads. Most of them are well off. So even though they're angry, and I don't tell them that they can't be angry. I don't want nobody to get me wrong or twist my words, because social media land love doing that. I wasn't trying to tell them they couldn't be angry, but I had to get them to look at the bright side of things. Because in their mentality, they're thinking, we could have grew up with you. You could have raised us. No, she couldn't raise us. Y'all got this fairy tale mindset going on where y'all think y'all have a functional parent, and y'all didn't have no functional parent. She had that monkey on her back. She only worked to feed the monkey. So would you have rather her giving you up so somebody else could rear you and do it the right way? Or would you have rather her come home and you ain't got no Christmas gifts because this motherfucker over the corner getting high and she only worked to feed her addiction? I had to put that in their minds, because a lot of times people think, that title mother, or just because somebody's labeled mother and father, they're able to be a parent. No. And just because you're able to have children, and it's evidence, I don't have to, it's millions of cases of men and women who's either abandon their children, they own child support, don't pay their child support, they have babies, and I ain't judging nobody who leaves the babies in the hospital, because if you have to leave them in the hospital so that way you don't hurt them, I would rather you do that than leaving them in a dumpster. But it's evidence all around of men and women doing that. That proves that they have a functioning reproductive system, but something emotionally and mentally is going on in their psyche, and they're not there to properly raise a child. Right? So I be always having to remind my cousins, y'all thinking that if she raised y'all, life would have been la-di-da. This motherfucker already had a monkey in her back. Add 5 kids to that. And y'all dad, who didn't help, who we didn't know. It wasn't just on her, it was on him too. She didn't make y'all by herself. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just not able to have children. But yeah, that's my theory on Christy Simple, aka Hoskins. I believe that man fought her tooth and nail, because I found evidence where he said he's originally from where I'm from. The father, Corey Holland, is from where I'm from. He's from the Midwest. He's not originally from Alabama or Georgia. He moved down there for his kids. How many men y'all know out here, single fathers, who does all that for their kids? And he was posting it on social media. I'm moving for my kids. The men who do that, They really want to be involved in their children's lives. And then he didn't only move down there, because some men will probably move to the state where the mother is, but just they cool with just visitation and paying child support. This motherfucker went and got custody of his kids. One custody. Even the judge and the state agreed with him. Yeah, you're the better fit. You're the better parent. And y'all don't understand, for those of y'all who don't have kids and have never been through a custody battle or whatever, for a man to win custody of his children, that is big. That is big, because it's rare and it far few in between happens. But when it does happen, it either happens for, like, the main reason is because, like, the father is basically better. He's in a better state to provide for those children and all. Usually, the only time you really see that happen with black men is where, y'all, they celebrities and shit. You know what I'm saying? I recently heard about it happen with Ludacris. Even though Ludacris's case, it happened with him a few years ago. The rapper Ludacris, he won custody of his children. You know, he ain't out here paying no child support. He won custody. Right? So again, like I said in my first video, my heart goes out to the family of Kamarie, Holland. I really don't know what to say to y'all other than I'm praying for y'all. You know, I can't think of on this case too much because it is heartbreaking. Anything with children to me is heartbreaking. To my loyal viewers, I would like to thank you guys. I didn't mean to go off on this rant like I did, but maybe it was meant for this video to be a little longer than what I was trying to make it. But yeah, y'all be safe, be alert, be aware.